How in the world do you stay sane when you have a newborn and a toddler in the house, or maybe even two toddlers in the house? Today I'm going to give you all of my tricks on staying sane with a newborn and toddlers. I am Amber from the blog 1898mama.com, and I am a homeschooling, homesteading mom of 6. So if those are things that you are interested in, definitely hit the subscribe button because I have a lot of content coming up for you. So how in the world do you manage a newborn when you have toddlers? I'm not gonna lie, if this is your very first time, like you've had maybe a 1 or a 2-year-old and you just had your second kid who's a newborn, it's gonna be so overwhelming and you're gonna feel like you can never get anything done. But I promise it gets easier and you will figure out your own routine and your own system of things that work. If you don't already have one, I highly suggest investing in a baby wrap of some sort. For the newborn stage, I really like the boba wrap. It's a long piece of cloth that you just tie around. Now there is a learning curve to it, but once you figure out that learning curve, it is so nice. Not only does it keep your hands free, but when your baby is crabby, it helps contain your baby and your baby gets a lot happier. I can't tell you how many times, especially with this guy, I'll be walking around going like this or trying to keep him happy. He seems to always want to be moving, but when I stop moving, he starts crying. But I can't constantly be holding him, so this wrap has been a game changer. Now the wrap does not work every single time, but when it does work, it's really nice. I will link this wrap down below so that if you want to check it out, you can. And then I will also link the kind of wrap that I like for more of a bigger child, like 6-ish months, depending on the size of your kid, what I like to change to. I cannot think of the name of it, but you basically just buckle it around your hips and pull it up, and it's really nice. Another one of my big tips when the newborns just won't calm down is to turn on white noise. White noise is a game changer. I have it on apps on our phones. I have a Roam travel white noise thing. Roam travel white noise is really nice. I keep it in the diaper bag so that way when I'm in stores or something and it starts getting crabby, I can play it. I have white noise in the toddler's room. I have it in our room. Like, there is white noise machines everywhere. It calms the baby down and it drowns out the noise from the other kids. If you can, try to keep your routine as much as possible when the baby is born. This is a huge life-changing event for your toddler, and the more normal that you can keep it, the better. This is more for when your newborn gets a little bit out of the newborn stage, but as soon as you can, get your babies on the same nap schedule. It is so nice to get a 1 to 2 to 3 hour break in the afternoon. It is some days what keeps me from going insane and making it through the day. I like to start sleep training my kids around 4-ish months. It kind of just depends on each kid, but I really like the Little Z Sleep. I will link them down below. They aren't Cry It Out, but they are a sleep trainer, and they kind of help you come up with a routine and how things should go in a day to make things as smooth as possible. Utilize as much outside help as you can get. Not only things with babysitters like grandparents or finding maybe a teenage babysitter to help out, but things like ordering your groceries online or ordering things from Amazon versus going into the store. Going into the store can really ruin your day depending on how crabby the kids are, what time you go, if the kids are hungry, if they see something they want and they can't have it. Things can get chaotic. Definitely try to get as much ordering done online as you can or something like that. What me and my husband like to do is when we can't get an order in for our groceries online is he will actually drive around with the kids in the car while I run inside and get groceries. The next few tips I have to do with food. Get yourself a 9x13 tray and cut up veggies at the beginning of the week or whenever you go grocery shopping, and just have them in this 9x13 glass container, so that way when it's witching hour and you're trying to cook or something like that, or maybe right before lunch and your kids are screaming at you because they're starving, or even if they're just crabby in the middle of the day, you can pull out this 9x13 container, set it on the table, and 1, it gets your kids to eat veggies, and 2, it keeps them out of your hair while you can get whatever you need done. Always have snacks available. And then the next thing that has to do with food is try to make as many crock pot meals as you can in the beginning of this journey. If you have time in the morning or maybe early afternoon to cook and get things ready, it really saves you, because towards the end of the day, you get like that 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, kids start getting really crabby, and trying to make supper while doing that, it's just too much. So any kind of meal prep that you can do ahead of time is definitely helpful. Even if during nap time maybe you cook supper and then just put it in the fridge so that all you have to do is warm it up later, whatever helps makes a big difference. Don't be afraid to utilize screens. I feel like especially as homeschooling moms, we don't want our kids on screens all day, which is true. However, if you need it, you need it. And there's great things out there that the kids can learn from. One of my toddlers right now is really into Blaze and the Monster Machines, and I cannot tell you how much he's learning from that show. It's amazing. But there's also things such as ABC Mouse or My Signing Time. I will link My Signing Time down below because all of my kids and me have all learned how to do ASL from that series, and it's fantastic. If you can, when you're making dinner, try to make enough to have leftovers for lunch the next day, so then that way for lunch you don't have to really make anything, you just have to warm it up. When it comes to laundry, don't fold everything. You don't have to fold the baby's clothes, you don't have to fold bath towels, you don't have to fold kitchen rags, things like that. If you don't have to fold it, don't. Only fold the things that needed to be folded. When the kids are really getting cranky, there are a few things that I like to pull out of my pocket to help that. Number one, bath or sink. Water seems to always calm down the kids. It seems to keep them busy for a while. And yes, I will have to always clean up a mess on the floor or around the counters or wherever we're playing with the water. But it keeps your child busy and it keeps them not screaming. Dance parties. Toddlers are really into dance parties. So turn on some fun music and just dance with them. Another benefit of having a wrap is you can dance with the toddlers while wearing the baby. If the weather is not like we have it outside right now because it is blizzarding and freezing and windy, but if the weather is nice, get out and go to the park. The park is gonna tire your kids out. Win-win for everybody. Talking about leaving the house, give yourself plenty of time. I'm talking like 2 hours before you leave the house to start getting ready, because you're gonna need to get ready, you're gonna need to get the toddlers ready, and then you're gonna have to change the baby, feed the baby. And then at that point, somebody's gonna spit up or somebody's gonna poop and you're gonna have to restart the whole thing over again. 2 hours gives you plenty of time. You're not getting crabby because you're gonna be late. Always overplan. If I have to be somewhere by 10, I like to have it in my mind like, okay, I have to be there at 9:45. Because then, if I am late, I'm not really late. Now the last tip I have for you might trigger you, it might make you mad, whatever. But put down your phone. If you're sitting there trying to scroll on Facebook or scroll on TikTok or whatever you want to scroll on, and your toddlers or your preschoolers or your baby needs you, you're gonna get overstimulated and you're gonna get crabby so much more. So just set the phone down and try to be in the moment with your kid. Easier said than done, I know. But I promise it makes a big difference. That's it. Those are my tips for you on how to manage a newborn with 1 or 2 toddlers, however many you have. I hope that these tips help you. If they do, and if you like this video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. See you later.